What's good with YouTube? You already know Big Flacco with a convict's perspective. And I'm going to smash, dash, and slide on through that little bit of energy. But today I have a whole lot of energy, man, because you know what? I got a special guest. I tapped into her stuff about 2 months ago and I was fucking amazed. I was blown away. And I watched her video go from 20,000 to 40,000 to 100,000 to then 500,000. She's taken over the internet by surprise. She's a new internet sensation. She started off with TikTok, and she's your fave, Granny. How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? Well, I was born in Norfolk, Virginia. Um, I was there for a while, and then I ended up in DC, and now I'm in Richmond. Been in Richmond about 40 years.
40 years. 40 years. Okay. So, your song "Making Out the Hood," right? What inspired that for you?
That's my goal. My goal is to make it out the hood.
For you?
I mean, uh, so to tell my story, it isn't a cut and dry situation. I was put in foster care when I was 5. And when I was 10, I started running away. And the first place I ended up when I ran away was this project called Tidewater Park. And it wasn't intentional. It's just at 10 years old, I didn't know where I was going. That's just where I ended up. And, there were times I slept outside. There were times I slept people's houses. They'd say, hey, come on in and, get out the cold or whatever. And they would take me in and pretty much take care of me. And then eventually the police would pick me up. They'd put me in detention. I'd go to court. Then they'd end up putting me in another foster home or group home. And that's really how my life went. I spent more time in the street than anywhere else.
Wow.
So, and it was always the hood. Like, initially when that was the first time someone showed me that they cared by letting me stay there and actually wanting me there, that's where I would retreat to when I ran away again. It was almost like going back home. You know what I mean? That was my
Mm.
home in my head. But yeah, that's what I did throughout my whole life. I'm the
You
granny.
know,
I mean, my daughter's 38. I got a 11-year-old granddaughter. I mean, I just try to instill in them, just make good choices. Whatever they are, just make. You got a choice to make a bad choice. You got a choice to make a good choice. Make the good choice. Ultimately,
yeah,
that's going to be what directs the rest of your life, depending on the choices you make. And it ain't worth having to fight for your life after you fuck up. Don't wait till you fuck up to be like, oh damn, I shouldn't have did that. Just don't do it. So that's the
most
goal.
definitely.
Now, realistically, people gonna make mistakes. That's fine, but don't keep making the same mistake. If you fuck up, be like, damn, I shouldn't have did that, and don't do it again. The problem is people might be in. Say somebody's like in a hard time and they just really need some money. Say they just go stick somebody up, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so you fucked up. You shouldn't have did that. Okay, well, don't do it again. But people get caught up and they do it again, and then they do it again, and then they get 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So don't do it. Realize when your conscience is saying, "Damn, you shouldn't have did that." Don't fucking do it again. So it started because it really is a fluke. So my following on TikTok a couple years ago, it'll be 3 years in March when my first song came out. So TikTok was like, "Hey, Granny, make your own rap music," like, cause I'm lip syncing the whole time. You know what I mean? They're like, "You should do your own lip syncing," and I kept hearing it like randomly over the course of some months. People would say that, and then in real life, people started saying, "Hey, you ever thought about writing your own music?" So I just kept hearing it in all aspects of my life, and so I was like, you know what? Let me try to make a rap. I didn't. I don't know how to write poetry or like none of that shit. Like I have clueless. I'm number one to be clueless on how to write a rap or to how to rap. Um, but just one night I thought about rap and I'll never forget it was 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, okay, so rap is nothing but storytelling. That was the original thing. So why don't I just tell a story?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote my first rap in 20 minutes.
What was the name of that rap?
Slinging that heat.
You know what though? You know, I do a little rapping as I told you, right? And I got a late start too because I went to prison. I never rapped before in my life, and just one day someone just said, "Hey, let's see if you can rap." I never even played around in prison, nothing like that, right? And I could naturally write the beat. I could naturally rap. So you could naturally write the beat. Not everybody can do that. Like the 20 minutes, I get that, man.
um, so I just completed two features with some two different people. Obviously that's up to them on when they put that out. Um, I just completed two songs. One's called Keeping It Real, one's called Flexing. I'm really excited about Flexing. I'm getting that mixed and mastered right now, but I'm really hype about that song. It's aggressive and it's little more fast tempo. So that's gonna be that's more who I am and who I want to be. But I can do. I'm versatile, so I do different things. Like I can do different things. I got an R&B song out. I have like just songs that just groove to, like all kinds of stuff I have out. If you ever get a chance to listen, and I got some like trap shit. So
Yeah,
just
trap shit
depends on my
dope.
mood and what I want to write about.
So if you were to collab with any artist, right? Which artist would you want to collab with?
So I'm going with Scarlett. I said this before, but I would give my, I was going to say my right hand, but I ain't going there. But I would give anything to have Scarlett on my Making It Out the Hood remix.
Scarlett, that would be pretty dope, man. That'd be pretty
It really
dope.
would. She would tear that shit up.
Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you have you have you thought about doing any like talent shows like America's Got Talent? Any of those?
Well, funny you say that because America's Got Talent reached out to me. And they asked me, was I interested in being on the show? I said yes, I was, and I did a few auditions and passed through that, and then I guess it ain't over yet. Like the auditions ain't done,
Hmm.
um, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it through or not. I know what they
Yeah.
want, but I can't really talk about it, and I just don't know. I have to wait. I know what they're looking for, and I did the best I could do because I live alone, and it's hard for me to film myself and act. You know what I mean? And put on a show. So I just did the best I could do, and hopefully they can see that I did the best I could do. But if I'm there, I'm gonna have people helping. You know what I mean? So we'll
You
see.
know, we get a lot of former convicts on my channel or people that are struggling out there, and they always want to hear a positive message, man. What message can you give to them?
Man, just that's funny because I had someone in my Uber yesterday, and I was like, "How you doing?" And they was like, "Yeah, it's a struggle or whatever." And my message to them, and it's a message I tell myself, and that's always look for the positive. There's a positive in everything. The worst thing that could be happening to you right now, there's a positive in it. It may not be a big positive, but you got to reach for whatever that is. And sometimes you're going to have to search for it. But find the positive and don't focus on the negative. Because that negative energy going to fuck you up every time. Uh, I'm an in-school suspension teacher at an alternative high school. So
Okay.
I reach out and help a lot of kids, you know what I mean? And that's really where my heart is. I want to try to get them while they're young and help them to make good decisions, or at least
Okay.
kids now, high school kids, they're very impulsive. There's no
Yeah.
thought process, and so if I could just get them to think for 1 second before they act, that would be an accomplishment. So
But when you see that breakthrough, that's probably one of the most inspirational things to see, huh?
it is, and you never know who you reach. You don't know. I had one student. He kept getting in trouble, and he ended up getting locked up, going to detention, and maybe I don't know, maybe about 8 months went past. Never heard from him no more or anything. And next thing I know, his PO reached out to the social worker at my school, who then reached out to me to tell me that he was getting ready to graduate and he wanted me to come to the detention to his graduation. So that
That's
was
awesome.
like, yeah, that was the ultimate. That made me feel really good. And I went, of course. And we still
Yeah.
talk to this day. And he's like 25 now. So I would even go earlier. I would start at 10.
You think 10 years old?
I'd say 10. Parents are leaving. Parents aren't parenting anymore. And I'm not talking about all parents, there's always the exception. But in general, in these communities, parents aren't parenting. Kids are left alone at home. They're wanting attention. They start doing whatever they can do to get attention. They start acting up in school because it's getting them attention. You know what I mean? When you're good, you don't get attention. You're overlooked because the
Yeah.
ones the ones that are acting up, are the ones taking that attention. So that's what kids tend to do. And you got to reach them around 10.
Before we end this interview, is there anything else you want to let us know about you?
I mean, I'm an open book for the most part.
All right. Well, we look forward to your success. I'm not going to hold you too much. I know you got a lot of things. I appreciate you coming on here. A lot of my subscribers are fans. They're going to be looking forward to this interview. So I hope you have a good night.
Thank you. Follow me, y'all. Your fave Granny.
As you can tell, man, I wanted to make this more personal. I wanted this to make this all about her, and then give my little elaboration afterwards, man. Um, as she said, man, she went through her personal struggles, man, since the age of like 10 years old. Was already out there in the streets, and she's trying to do the best to show, her kids, her grandkids, anybody else's kids out there, that whatever your current situation doesn't have to remain permanent. All it takes is that one opportunity in your life. And for those that believe in you, you never know what you can accomplish, man. It's real easy to get down and look at what your current situation is, what your life is, like she said, right? But sometimes it's even harder to find that positive when you need it. That's why whatever you're going through today, right? Always remember this. There's someone else out there that got it worse. I've said this before. You get a bunch of people, you get them in a circle, and everybody puts their problems that they have in their life in the middle, right? After we hear everybody else's problems, more than half of us are going to take our problems back. I did a reaction on my comics reaction channel, and it was yellow for a while. Like a lot of my videos have been going yellow over there, right? So I dropped it. Really didn't catch the algorithm, but I'll tell you right now, man. Making Out the Hood, that track, man. Someone, if you know Scarlett personally, someone does, man. Some producer or some fucking musician that tap into Scarlett, man. We got to make that collab happen. I was talking to her offline, and she said that they have rappers that have reached out to her, WWE, football players, basketball players. They've all reached out to her, man. So I think they're trying to figure out what they want to do with her, man. I think she could do whatever you put in front of her, man. I think, when you've lived in the struggle this long, trying to make it out the hood, man, and you got that opportunity, I think she's ready to seize that moment. And I think that's a story in itself for any listener out there. And I've always said that. Play your position, right? But never become complacent or stagnate. Because otherwise, you're never going to reach anything than what you have in front of you today. When the opportunity does present itself, that's when you have to capitalize the most. That was a philosophy that I used to live by, but I kind of applied it in the wrong type of the wrong type of ventures, man. I used to tell my workers, play your position. When the opportunity presents itself, capitalize off. In other words, when you get the chance to get that more work and get the grind on, handle that business. Same thing with this, so in life, right? When you get that chance, that opportunity, make it happen. In a year that's kind of been filled with a lot of negativity, right? I think it's kind of good to see a feel-good story like this, man. And I wish your favorite Granny the best, man. Tap into her if you haven't heard her yet, man. You can tell that she's been there. She's an open book, like she says. She's gonna tell you like it is. And I like the fact that of her working with kids. That says a lot, man. When someone takes a job that's working with at-risk youth, right? Kids that are in alternative school, the ones that a lot of times people give up on, man. Let's just keep it real. Alternative school, a lot of times people give up on. Even the teachers don't want to be there half the time. But when you get like a counselor or someone that deals with these kids on a day-to-day basis, man, that's an awesome job, man. And you never know, like you said, you never know who you're going to reach, man. And I think sometimes when us as YouTube content creators, when we aren't caught up in all the drama and all the negativity and we're focused on the positive, I think we don't always realize the effects that maybe we have on people, man. There's people that tell me, man, I wake up every day just looking forward just to hearing what you got to say, man. And that's the type of stuff that I appreciate, man. There's enough people who want to come in with negativity, and a lot of those are kind of influenced with what you call the bully mentality. You know what I mean? The bully mentality is that they do it because they can on YouTube, comments, whatnot. They wouldn't do any of that in real life because it's uncharacteristic and it's a bad look. But with this said, man, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is your boy Flacco, Convicts Perspective. I'm gone.